Hello everybody, this is Oliver from Neo and today we are going to look at the difference of a Fukamushi sencha and a normal grown Yabukita sencha. So, what does Fukamushi actually mean? A Fukamushi is a tea which has been steamed for a longer time. So, Fukamushi means a deep steam tea. This is the process when you harvest the tea leaves. Thereafter, like within the scope of 2 hours, the tea has to be steamed. And here the tea is steamed around 120 seconds. Meanwhile, the normal green tea is steamed around 30 to up to 60 seconds. So it's around the double of the amount, or sometimes even the triple of the amount of the time what the tea is steamed. So I brought you here two different kinds. So here we have the Fukamushi, so a darker, and you see also there are a little bit smaller leaves, and we have a normal sencha which has a little bit of thicker leaves. So I can show you this in detail. For example, here we got the sencha leaves. They're pretty big, a little bit thicker, and here the Fukamushi we really have to look more for bigger leaves, but actually you have more smaller and broken leaves. Why is this the case? So in the Fukamushi, the longer steaming process, it makes the tea leaves break easier, so it's a little bit finer and a little bit more, it's not dusty, but it's much more finer, and the particles or the small parts of the leaf are finer. This makes then that the tea gives a lot of its green color very fast to the water. Meanwhile, the sencha leaves, they are giving a clean, lighter green to the water. And this is now what we're going to look at. So really the difference in the brewing color of these two teas. So we're gonna just make them with the same Kyushu and the same amount of money. So I take off the lid here. So we have really the same Kyushus, and we're gonna put them in both of the teas around 4 grams, and we have the water at around 65 degrees Celsius. So we really got the same water temperature and the same setup for brewing both of the teas. Now we're gonna leave it in just for 1 minute. About the teas, so these teas, they're both from Shizuoka Prefecture. Here we have the Fukamushi Yamaga, and here we have Fukamushi from the farmers Masuda, and so this is the sencha from the farmer Masuda and the Fukamushi from the farmer Sato. So similar prefecture, also both are from the Yabukita cultivar. It's not from the same farmer, but also from region-wise, it's a very similar tea. The difference also here is you got a more shaded tea, so this tea is shaded around 2 weeks to up to 16 days. And this one here, it's a lightly shaded tea, which is around 5 days of shading, but much less with this one here than with this one. But what interests us here is not the shading, but it is really what the Fukamushi does to the tea. Because Fukamushi also, some farmers really start to use it as a process of longer steaming because it renders the tea also smoother. So in taste-wise, when you have a normal sencha, you have this light grassy and fresh taste. Meanwhile, with the Fukamushi, this brings down also the bitterness a little bit. So you always have a little bit of bitterness swinging with the normal sencha, and the Fukamushi process really brings out the particles of this bitterness or the astringency and really brings in front the smoothness. So often also farmers use this technique with a rather stronger astringent tea to really bring out the bitter particles and really try to produce a smoother tea, which is then liked more by the people, because also in Japan there's a tendency that less astringent tea are liked. So let's go for the first steeping. So already here you can see it's a nice, beautiful greenish color. And let's go here for the first. So you can already see here the difference. So you really can see the difference of these two. So here we have a lighter green, much more of the green color. It's a little bit golden, it's a little bit dusty. And here we get a much cleaner and a more yellowish color. So you really can see that there's already a difference in the first brewing, but I want to go now to the second one, because often the Fukamushi shows its strong color in the second brewing. So let's have just the second brewing here. Put in water and here the same. Second brewing, very important with the sencha is that you don't take too long. So the first minute really is used to open up the leaves. As soon as you do the second, third, fourth brewing of a good sencha, just leave it in for 20 seconds and take the tea directly into the cup. So we just put first here the water, so we take this one first. Just fill it. Let's do the same for the Fukamushi. Now you can really see the strong difference in color, which is just amazing. Here you have this dark, kind of this intense green, shade green color, and here still you can see I put my finger behind. You can easily see the finger, so it's really no problem to see through this tea. So this is the sencha. In Fukamushi, when I do the same, it's really difficult to see the finger, so you really cannot see it. So this is the main difference. So this tea really gives more particles into the color of the tea water. And now let's go into the tasting, what the difference is. So here, as I explained before, I expect a little bit more a kind of a sweeter tea, and here I expect a little bit more of freshness, a little bit more of bitterness. So first brewing here, there's a sweetness to it, there's a grassiness to it, there's a freshness to it. And here much more of a sweet note, spinachy, there's even a lychee note, floral note. So here you get much more of kind of a summer fresh wind, kind of a summer breeze. And here you get a lot of sweetness, flowery and fruity notes in here. So this process really makes this tea quite different. Let's go for the second one. So here with the second brewing, let's see how the taste is. Maybe already in the nose here you get also much more sweetness. So it's like it's like this pure, direct, grassy taste, a little bit of a freshness to it, a fresh note, and this one here. There's also this grassy note, but it's much more covered with a fruity, floral, lychee note. A more spinachy note, like it's showing a little bit of more of a youth here, like you kind of have more of maturity. Here really you get this sweetness and this rendering sweetness which is in your mouth. Here you really definitely with the Fukamushi have it more intense in the fruity section. There's also a lot of umami. It's a little bit also coming more from the shading of the tea, but in general you really get a smooth sweetness of the Fukamushi versus the sencha.